Hey everyone, you're probably wondering where is part one. Part one's coming out. It's just longer and it'll cover more detail and it's more in depth with introductions. But I'm squatting with Carlo. He'll show up in the green, and Ross is in the end. He's wearing orange. But with Carlo, we're all working up to a heavy single. Carlo is currently maxing out on his back squat every single day with back offsets after maxing out. Now, forewarning, Carlo, a little history on Carlo, he's been squatting for a year, so a year with high frequency and a lot of volume. So if you haven't been used to a high training frequency and you're not used to high volume, I don't recommend maxing out every single day, especially if your form is not uh, near perfect. So you'll see me like doing some weird stuff like jumping up in the air. Just ignore that. I like to stay relaxed and have fun while I'm lifting, so I do some silly things that are probably considered dangerous, and I just don't recommend anyone doing it. But on another note, I am on a deload, and you won't see Ross yet, but he'll be in the end. He's also on a deload, and you're probably wondering why I'm working up to a heavy single on a deload. Deload's a pretty controversial topic, so uh, it, when I deload, I just like to cut the volume really short, and I'll keep the intensity pretty high on most of the week. Other than that, I'll go back to a very high volume, high frequency, and as much high intensity type of program. And Ross, on the other hand, what you'll see is he takes his deload more seriously. He uses lighter weights, and um, I think it's more of a mental thing for deload. I mean, there's definitely a huge part of playing it safe and recovering for your body. So I'm more of an intuitive and go how you feel type of lifter, so that is my background. Carlo just hits his top set of 315 right there. His best back squat is 330, so it's pretty normal to see your lifts go down on an everyday given basis. Here he's trying to PR by 5 pound, hits a wall, falls. So not much you can do. The best thing you can do is just take your back offsets, and then every other day is another opportunity to do your best. I recommend not belting up, but if you don't feel comfortable, uh, do belt up out of safety. Okay, so we're with Ross, and we'll be talking about how I don't like his current squatting form. I think his chest could be a little higher. It's dipping down too low for my preference, and maybe to like the typical onlooker, it looks like, oh, it's a good squat, but I just don't like it. I prefer upright positions. I prefer more range of motion, which I will show you. I'll have some pictures at the end. So what we do is make him front squat to get him used to kind of activating his thoracic spine, getting more extension. What you don't see is we're stretching out his ankles in between sets. We're resting 2 to 3 minutes in between sets, and targeting the soleus and Achilles. And so you'll see that his front squat starts getting a little better, especially on the third set, which you'll see after. And I think this is the last set, so it looks really good now. And his knees are traveling much better forward. I hope that nobody thinks your knees going past your toes is a bad thing these days. And look at this back squat. Um, if you can't tell, I got some snapshots. So the first back squat at 135, um, without all the stuff, that's him leaning forward. Range of motion, maybe an inch or two below parallel. But if you take a look at the third picture, definitely 3 to 4 inches below parallel. Chest is upright. He's getting more range of motion. Um, so thanks for watching part two. I'll cover more detail in part one. If you've gotten any questions, just put in the comments, and in part one I'll try to answer it. and see you next time.